crafty friends. I am Bethany. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy you are joining me today. I am so excited because today is Friday and it is Embossing Folder Friday. This is something I used to do a while back, and I've been wanting to do it because I think embossing folders are one of the fastest way to create creative, intelligent cards without a lot of time. And I saw something on a different channel. Actually, it was an Instagram post. Someone had posted, and it sparked something in me that I was like, well, I can do that. That would take me 5 minutes. So I pulled out one of my favorite Simon Hurley 3D embossing folders. It's a Spellbinders embossing folder, one of their collabs, and I have a really cool idea for it. I'm hoping it works out based off of what is in my head. I wanted to go ahead and just show you how quick and easy something like this could be. I have an A2 size card base ready to go. I've got my glue ready to go. I picked out my sentiment color. I picked out this is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, a 65-pound cardstock. The actual card base is 110-pound cardstock. And then to add some spice to the mix, I have one of my favorite paper pads I just love playing with from the Not Too Shabby shop. And then a simple sentiment from another stamp set from the Not Too Shabby shop. And a couple of ink pads. I might experiment with more colors, but for now that's what we're going to start with. And I may add some washi tape. We'll see how the flow of everything goes. It's all up in my head for right now, and and then once I get going, we'll see where we land. But first, I'm going to start with the embossing folder, since that is basically the star of this show. And don't mind the noise, but yeah, just a quick catch up. My dad is doing great. He's starting to get around a little bit better. He actually drove his vehicle because he broke his non-driving foot. He broke his left leg, sorry. And so he was able to, with a little supervision, he was able to drive his own vehicle to the car wash to get it washed. And of course it rained today, so, you know, didn't do a whole lot of good. All right, so I have that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this through my die cutting machine and be right back. Now that I've put that through the machine, look at how pretty it came out. Next, I'm going to grab a couple of brushes, and I am just going to place a little bit of color right over the top of this. I'm going to use a blending brush and the Simon Hurley Piggyback. I'm purposely on my glass mat because I would like to tap some of the excess off in case I get too much ink. I am just gonna go right over the top, and it's a subtle, because I'm tapping off a lot of the excess ink. It's just a subtle look. Not going to be too bold, too crazy. I, in hindsight, thought maybe I could do 2-tone color, but for right now, the 1-tone for now is going to work. I might change my mind though, because that does happen even in a 5-minute craft. And if there's overage, it's okay. This is a little bit less clean, but it's still simple. I am just trying to get those the 3D embossing folder to just shine a little bit. Really show through. And there are other ways to do this too. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my teal the Tropical Tango from Simon Hurley as well. Try not to let that one get too dried out. That's got lots of color. And because I'm going right onto more straight lines, I'm just gonna, instead of swirling, I'm gonna just kind of follow the curve of each leaf and stem instead. Just giving that hint of coloring. We're not going for accuracy. This is a more whimsical approach, but I still love the results. Most definitely. And this is just a really great embossing folder. I'm glad I got it. The idea is to, and I'm going to do it reverse so I can make sure I like the look. But the idea is to create a visual cutoff of this. And I'm going to blend that better. Some of that green got right on the pink. There we go. That makes me feel better. Yeah. I am loving this look. I am extremely nervous to cut though. Just because I want it to be the right cut, the right way. Honestly, let's see. I want the bulk of the color from here. So what I'm going to do is be bold, be brave, and go ahead and cut. I don't know why, this is just making me nervous to cut. Alright, so I am going to do 4 1/4. I'm going to cut it edge to edge like the embossed cardstock is. Use that somewhere else. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut at an angle. And I tried to eyeball my angle. But yes, I think that is the correct angle. So, there is no exact science. This is just going based off of how I feel. And I feel like that worked. So we're gonna go with that worked. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Yes, it worked. Okay. So you see how there's a little tips at the top? That was on purpose because I realized as I was about to cut that I have an intention to use this space in between. So I am just embracing the weird that's happening in my head. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this down and put it under an acrylic block because my 5-minute card is slowly turning into a 10-minute card because I'm getting nervous and overthinking things, which is okay. But I shouldn't be nervous because I think the idea in my head is going to translate really well, especially when you have great products to work with and play with. I'm a big fan of Simon Hurley Spellbinders. I've been a part of their club kits for, I don't know, forever. And actually really since I started doing card making itself. I think Spellbinders was the first card kit I ever signed up for. Or club kit, I should say. Not card kit. Club kit. I'm going to throw that under this because my acrylic block has disappeared. So Misty's going to be my acrylic block for right now while I find somewhere to put the glue. I keep forgetting that I recently refilled my glue and it comes out easier. So I've been over gluing a little bit. Oh look, little guy's heading out from under there. So I'm going to go ahead and commit and put glue, not as much glue on this. Bye little guy, I'll give you a heart. You're so cute. Good thing I got another one of you. And it's okay to over glue when you are working with embossing folders because definitely need to fill those grooves and cracks and not have excess. But, alright. You see how my card is actually sticking to my glass mat because I have that much overgluing happening here. Alright, wonderful. There's my acrylic block again. While that's under there, we're going to go ahead and get our sentiment. And since I figured Mother's Day is right around the corner, we're going to use the Happy Mother's Day. This stamp set is just for you. I've used this stamp set. This is probably one of my, I'd say, top 5 favorite Stampin' Dies from Not Too Shabby Shop. You can tell by the amount of coloring that I've used it a lot. If you look back in the archives, I've also used this watering can a lot, and the watering can die. I have a really neat trick. I actually ran across a couple of the cards I made with it recently, and I was like, oh, I forgot I did that technique, and it was a really great, cool technique. But even just these simple flower designs, you could use them for spring, sentiment, like a sympathy card, birthday, so many different options with it. Definitely one of those catch-all, use it for everything kind of sets, definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down, and I'm going to try it with a piggy bank first. I may not like it though. I may pivot again, but we'll start there and see where we go. And I'm going to angle it a little bit better because I just realized my mother's was not balanced. There we go. All right. Give it lots of ink. And no, that is too light. So I'm going to grab another color. More pivoting. I am using the Prom Queen from Simon Hurley. Just a note, this is probably my favorite all-time Simon Hurley color. I don't know why. I just love it. Plus, I love the name of it too. So, yes, see, that came out perfectly. So, there we go. That was the color I needed. Enough said. So, set that aside. And I'm going to just trim it down. And I'll leave that full strip just for now because I might play a little more with that angle. But I have a place for some washi tape. I stumbled across this washi tape. Actually, someone had given it to me in a card swap, and I totally missed using it. So now I want to decide. I think we're going with this one, but I want to make sure that that's the right pink. But I want to make sure that that's the right look I'm going for. So what we're going to do is we're going to swatch. This is how we, in the design world, we swatch stuff if we're not sure. So this is going to go this direction. And that would go up and down. Let's see if I like, nope, that one's too fun. This one's nice, but that, it would be that, no? Now I wish I was live and I could ask the panel, which washi tape should I use? Otherwise, we have this one hanging out over here, which is from Simple Stories. And this one's pretty cute. With some gingham. You know what? It's the right pink. We're going with this one. We're going to have a little butterfly action here. And now my finger does not want to. There we go. My fingernail did not want that washi tape right there. All right, so now I'm going to line it up. And then grab my adhesive safe, my non-paper adhesive safe scissors, and I'll open up the card so I don't accidentally cut like the back side, but just letting the edge of the card base guide my cut. Same here. Just letting the edge of the card base guiding the cut. And look at how cool that is. The butterfly landed in the middle. Now I'm going to have to second guess my placement of my Happy Mother's Day. Because originally I was going to put it right over there. Now I don't want to. Oh boy. Alright, now I'm going to play with angles. And now I want to add another stamp. So I'm going to add one of those florals because I feel like having that, I could just cut the sentiment down, but I feel like it needs more balance. So we're going to, if it works in my brain, we're going to find a balance here. Nope, it doesn't balance. All right, we're going to go a different direction all together. And because I don't trust my cutting skills, I'm actually going to pivot again. We're going to go ahead and glue down the sentiment at an angle. And I'm going to use the edge of that butterfly. I'm letting the materials direct my moves right now. And I'm liking it. It's a little atypical, but it is graphically intriguing. And now you have this more whimsical look of the interpretation of the embossing folder and the stamp. Although I do feel it needs a flower, but I don't have a small enough flower. I do, because I can stamp off. All right, we're gonna freehand my stamp. Okay, I'm still thinking on my feet. We're gonna freehand this stamp right here. So again, this 5-minute card now is definitely not 5 minutes whatsoever. But that's okay because I'm pivoting and I'm using the prom queen again, by the way. But I'm pivoting and finding what I really like about this. And guess what? It's the same type of flower, so this fits. It's really, really not too far of a stretch. Committing, hoping I got it, and I got it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was not where I thought I was going to go with this, but here we are, and I love the result. I mean, if you're happy with the results you get, it is a little more simple, but it's not necessarily clean and simple. It's still got a hint of the mixed media look. It's still true to what I typically like to do, which is to push the envelope and create something visually focused, but also fun, fanciful, and stunning at the same time. Could I maybe take some alcohol, ink markers, and really put in fine details here? Absolutely. In fact, speaking of which, we're going to add a little prom queen to the base of this, just to give the tulips a little more definition, because I think that's fun. We're going to give them a little pop. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad I saw that. there we go. Now it's been elevated, and the basic was an embossing folder. So why not? My goal is accomplished. I've used an embossing folder that I love and adore from Simon Hurley, and look at the results. I mean, it's fun, and for the right mother, it'll be beautiful and perfect. So thank you all for joining in my journey of finding where I wanted to go with that. That was definitely not my first intent or my second intent, but when you think it out loud, you take a little bit of time and you just focus a little bit on what your goals are and the basics, you can pivot and find what works best, especially without feeling like you're missing something. And I've been a strong believer these days of shopping your own stash. Like, go take a look at what you have and find what you truly love, or things that you're like, why haven't I used this yet? And then go with it. Go with the flow. Especially if you have an event coming up soon you need a card for, just go with it and see what comes out of it. So thank you all for joining me on this lovely Embossing Folder Friday. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the joy in your day, and happy making. Bye!